Hi guys, welcome back to Vintology by Lola. I am so excited to share this book with you guys. My friend Tonya Samuels, Let's Design Creative, asked me if I would try some of her new lines of digital papers, and I of course accepted and was extremely flattered that she even asked me to do it. So let me just say at the end of the video, I'll give you some information on Tonya and about her paper and where you can find it. And I'm so excited. So I used a tutorial from Joanie's journals, and I used a file folder for this. And I used Tonya's new paper, Itinerary. But I also joined Destination with it. And so I did a combination of the two because her digitals really all work very well together, and I wanted it to be vintagey, and I wanted to use some of the things from Destination with Itinerary, and they went beautifully together. So let me just get into this. So this is a 5x7 file folder journal. Like I said, I got it from Joanie's journals, and I just used the base with some ideas of hers, and then I jumped off and just went running in my own direction. So I have blue seam binding holding it all together. I also used some of Tim Holtz's embellishments, some of his chipboard pieces, some of his charms. So this is his, but almost all of the paper is from Tonya. Okay, so this is her beautiful paper. This is her paper. This is her paper. This is her paper, right? You'll hear me keep saying that. It's her paper. It's her paper, right? Sorry. So forgive me. I took some of her paper because it is very collagey, and there is a huge number of pages. I want to say that there might be between 30 and 34 pages to this kit. So even if you're doing a bigger book, you will not run out of paper. I tried to use all different pages, and I still have probably 10 or 12 pages left, okay? So I took elements from some of the papers because they're collaged, and I cut them apart. This isn't actually ephemera. I just turned it into ephemera. So these are some of her postcards. This was a Timmy, and this was a Timmy, and this was a Timmy. And I only used that because it really melded the vibrant colors that Tonya had used, as well as Destination, which was a little bit muted. So we had kind of a gradation of colors. I used one of Tim Holtz drawer pulls. It said, and then I found a sticker that said, "Let's get away." And I just thought that was a cute little place to put it because that's where the tab was. Okay, so when you open it up, when we open this up here, I have a belly band over here. These are postcards that were part of, that I didn't think I was ever going to use, part of Tim's embellishments, and they just went perfect with the idea of travel. And I thought, I'm just going to put them in there because I needed something to put in there. What I love about her paper too is that there is the option, because it is there's a lot of collage pages, you have the option of doing some fussy cutting, which is what I did here for this flap. I cut out just the front part of an envelope that was on one of the pages. Flip it over. I did not fussy cut that. I didn't fussy cut that. But because the paper is so gorgeous, it all melds together and it looks like a collage, and you don't have to embellish it with anything. This one flips up. Okay, there you go. You got that. This one then flips over, and that's more of her paper. I just put a little stamp up there just to kind of give it a little bit of dimension. This is her paper, right? And I couldn't tell you which one was actually Itinerary and which one was Destination, but I will tell you that probably 80% of it was Itinerary, the new line, and I supplemented with Destination. So this is one of Tim's words. This was a piece of paper that I saved because I was trying some of the beeswax, and I did coffee stained beeswax embossed paper. Try to say that 3 times fast. And I just had a little scrap, and I thought, oh my gosh, postcards, perfect for this. So I just put it on a blue tag because it kind of goes with this, right? And I just made this into a little tuck. Okay, flip it over here, and I fussy cut this so that the postcard would be coming up off of the top. And this was the little base of another postcard. And then I put another stamp on it because I had a whole bunch of little stamps, and she had stamps in her project. So I cut them apart and thought I would just give everything a little bit of dimension, right? I used some of Timmy's tiny text, some of his chatter, all those little things that he has for stickers. And I went and found all of the things that related to travel, and I just put them on here. This is one of his flashcards. I just stuck that in the pocket. This actually folds down. This page I fussy cut specifically because I loved this whole thing with the Eiffel Tower, this little postcardy stamp, the canceled stamp thing. Then I took some of her other paper that was navy blue, and I did a border around it. And I just think that page, that's my favorite page. It's just gorgeous. And then down here is some more, and I did not fussy cut that. So here is some more collage paper. I had washi tape that looked like stitching, and I really wanted to draw the eye back into the inside of this, and it didn't feel like it was finished. So I thought I'm just going to put some washi tape around it, and I really liked the way that turned out too. So then this one, you flip open, and you have a pocket here, and this is more of her paper that's just the way it's printed, is just gorgeous like that. I had these in my stash. They were just ephemera that were for the railroad. I just backed those with some more of Tonya's paper, right? And I put those in the pocket here. Thought those would be fun, right? Because we have, what I like about this too is it's many countries. It is not one country you're traveling to. So this would be appropriate for anyone who's going on any vacation anywhere, right? So then you close that up and you flip this over, right? And I did 3 pockets. I wanted to do something over here just to finish it again. So that's why I put in the eyelets over here. And then I cut apart some of her paper, right, to do embellishments. And so this is all hers, right? And then I backed them all, so you could use them and they would be super duper cute. I have to tell you guys, this was so fun to make. Okay, and then I took one of her bigger postcards that was on a page that I cut apart. So she doesn't actually have embellishments in her kit, but you don't need them because of the way she does the paper. You can cut it apart and turn it into embellishments. But who wants to cover up this paper? This paper is gorgeous. Okay, so here is this page. This, I want to say I fussy cut it, but I don't remember. Then this one opens up, right, like this, and there's a little pocket in there. And we're just going to pull that out like that, right? And then you can also go like this, and you've got this all over here. Let me move my coffee there. And you've got all of this in here. Here's more journaling or writing, whatever. Flip that over, right? And that one I know for sure I did not fussy cut, but look at how perfect it is. And then this and the airmail, travel the world and discover, right? Here's a little pocket. There you go. There's one there. Look at that. That I did cut out. This piece and this piece, I wanted it to be specific, so I did fussy cut it. Okay. And then back over there, which is gorgeous. Okay, so now the middle section of the book. I've seen Tonya do this many times, and I thought, I'm going to try it. And I love doing this, you guys. This is kind of fun. I don't even know a tab flip. I don't know what to call it. But I thought it'd be so cute to put a little picture there. Maybe you have extra tickets. You could put a paper clip and clip that to there. Maybe you have a picture. There's endless ideas, right? And this is the paper that I used, right? And so then if you flip it this way, there's a little corner tuck, and I did a little envelope. And I always do envelopes in my books, you guys, with a tag, with the idea that if there's something personal or private that you want to put in your book, because let's say you put it on a coffee table, but there's stuff that you want to put in there, but you don't necessarily want people to read it. I always think you have to think twice about someone who's opening it up and they're like, oh, that's an envelope. That's just, some stuff. And you don't have to explain anything. It's just, it's not really for you. Right? Hopefully you don't have anything that you're going to put in there that would be earth-shattering. Forget it. I'm just being silly. Okay, anyway, from Regions Beyond, again, I took some of my tape that looked like I stitched it. This was another gorgeous piece, and I did try to get the United States postage on there. And with this one, you actually can pull it all the way out like this, or you can flip it this way, right? So you could do quite a spread here if you wanted to. And here's another corner tuck with a tag, right? fold that up like that. And then I don't know what to even call these, you guys, but I love making them. And so we just open this up. I think it's very attractive. And I loved this paper, and I just left it with this and this, and then I put Timmy's tiles are really thick. They're on chipboard, and I just took the chipboard off and put not all who wander are lost, right? So that opens up. That has a tuck, right? And then this was actually one of Timmy's, I don't know what he calls them. Are they flashcards? I don't pay attention to the names. I just use the stuff, you guys. But it was all different tickets. And I thought for traveling, that was perfect. So you could either cut it apart, you could leave it that way, you could put a picture on it, write notes on it, whatever. So now we're done with the middle. And now when we go back to the last part of the book, the last flip, I did a journal, okay? And the journal is incredibly simple. I mean, I took Tonya's paper and I made the cover. And then what I did was I fussy cut some of the pictures and I raised them up. So this may not be the exact picture, but I found one that fit this square. And then all I did was glue it on, and I glued it on. So it gives it a little bit of dimension, right? And inside the journal, you guys, I left it plain. I left it totally plain for you to write and to keep notes. And I thought this was really cool. This was a piece of paper with Chinese writing on it. And it's coffee dyed, and it's got a little pocket in it. But the idea was to write down some of the stuff from your travels, right? And I knew that if I had started stamping it, well, aside from the fact that I had no more room to do any embellishing, but I knew I would just go nuts and I would just keep stamping it. So I tried to limit myself and say, well, if I was writing it, I might need a lot of space. Because what the beauty is, if I didn't say it before, I'm saying it now, and if I said it before, I'm sorry. But this is for anywhere you're going. This is not just for one place. She has so many places on these papers that you could do it for wherever you go. I just love it. So you flip this journal over, which, by the way, it's not a traveler's note. It's not a traveler's journal, or notebook. I actually used the Brad binding, which I love. If you haven't done that yet, you guys should try it. It's really fun. It's really easy. So it stays in, but because in the center you have, let me just quick show you. In the center, you do have the tabs. You could take these out if you wanted to replace it with something. It would be pretty easy, but it's not as easy as elastic when you put it in with that for a traveler's notebook. But okay, and then lastly, I just did the back very simple. It's one pocket, right? And then in my stash, as I was looking for stuff to go with it, I found this. I don't even know where I got it from. It's a commemorative envelope from the first postage stamp because it was the 100th anniversary, but it's actually postmarked from 1947, which means 1847 would be the first stamp. I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought this was really a cute little thing to add to it. And then I just took one of Tim's flashcards, put some paper behind it, again for a little secret note. Or some you could even take the stuff out of the envelope and put in tickets or like a cute menu of someplace you were. And then it just closes back up into this, right? So, what can I say? The paper was beautiful. It was fun to work with because I didn't have to do a bunch of embellishing because of the way Tonya made the paper. Okay, so let me tell you a couple things. You can find Tonya on YouTube as Tonya Samuels. You can find her on Etsy at LetsDesignCreative. And as I said, she had 4 new lines of paper. And the first one was Itinerary. The second one was Vignette. The third one was Paris and Teal. And the fourth one was Blush and Blue. All of her digitals are 40% off right now with a $5 purchase. So it has to be a minimum of $5 and you get 40% off. And her prices are so reasonable anyway in the first place, you guys. And the other exciting news is that she has done her first printable journal. It's called Prelude. And that is in the shop. And that as well is 40% off, which is wonderful. I will be making something with that in the next coming weeks. And I want you to know that if you want to see another one of the papers on Tonya's YouTube channel, she is making a Trapper Keeper with blush and blue. So you can see how the other paper looks. Because, online it looks one way. And when someone's using it, you really get to see the guts of the paper, right? It is a wonderful line. I am going to try Paris in teal. I'm very excited to use that one because that one's absolutely stunning too, although all her work is. You guys, you need to go over and show her some love. I will put her YouTube channel as well as her Etsy store in my notes. And I really appreciate you stopping by. Please go over and give her some love. She is an amazing creator, you guys. And I feel like we need to give shout outs to each other whenever possible. So I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I hope you have a nice weekend. Peace out.